Hello everyone, JoRaSe here, ready to get back into our game project we're working on here in JoRaSe Dev. And this time we are just about done with the main farmhouse building. Now to get to work on the other part as soon as we get a little bit more done here on the main house. And that's going to be the chimney. Get it cubed out first, then add some subdivisions where necessary. Then we're going to extrude in, get the vertices at the right points there, and then grab them all again and extrude it down. Now with that being done, we can focus on getting it looking right from the side here, which involves shrinking it all in. Not a hard process, but one that needs to be done properly. And I'm having to make sure I'm doing it right. And I wasn't, but now I know what I'm doing right. And that's going to be just extruding this down and scaling it out. The other way would have been a bit too much work for something that should be a lot simpler. And here we go. Extrude it down, and then this last one is going to be where everything moves into the surface of the roof. And we will get it all moved over properly before we finalize where everything should be. And I got a little bit of a visual problem there, but nothing to worry about. And you'll see what I mean right here. I've got to move it all over just a tiny little bit. And then grab those and scale them out. Now I can build all the faces that need to be built. And that's something that you just gotta figure out that needs to be done as you go. Just neaten up the roof line there a little bit. And now for the next part of this, which is going to be should be the silo. But I may be having trouble with something here as well, so we will see shortly, won't we? Yes, we want to get this moved in a bit, and now we're going to start laying out our vertices for this. And do I like this? Or would I rather just go a easier to work with cylinder? That's where my mind is right now in the doing of this, trying to figure out how I want to go about it. If I want to do it the free-handed way, or use a cylinder and use a circle and turn it into a cylinder, which, as you can see, is what we have gone with. And I believe it'll be much better because of it. Started out at the base there, lifted up to the door, and then all the way to the top. And now let's wipe out that one vertex there for the door, and we're going to, or where the door will be, and we're going to copy the door from the house and move it in. And we want all the vertices flipped the right way. I have missed one, or no, just that one. We will get to it shortly. There we go. So now we can build the faces in where they need to go and just hide everything else. Make it easier to work with there. And this will give a little better look to it. So we build the faces in like so. Put the rest of the model back in place. And yeah, I think that will work. Need to do the roof. That's going to be just extruding it out and then back in. So that should be about right. And now for these, we just pull them over, and then we're going to fill in the faces where they need to be. Or we do it the other way around, fill in faces first. They both get the job done, and that's all that matters. And that needs to be moved out just that little bit. Make it a bit easier to get everything lined up. Now I need to get everything here selected because it all needs to get moved over. Just a little bit, about like that. Now we can slide all of this over. So there we go, and now these in and up. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Just fill in the bottom here. Done. Now, since this is the farmhouse, it would be kind of silly to not have some kind of field representation to go along with it. So that's what this will be. These will be little planting areas. Throw in a few more there. There. And that looks pretty good. And now you'll see why I did that here real quickly. Because what we're doing is we're going to build up a little mound. That's what these are. So about like that. Scale this out a little bit. And I think that looks plausible. Let's duplicate it a couple of times and move it into position. That might be too close to the house because of the roof. Yeah, a little bit further out makes more sense. And we'll just do another one or two, but that might be enough right there. And now we want a fence line as well. So let's do that. Build in a fence here. And with these fences, the main importance is to define the area that the player can go. So to get them lined up properly, I am selecting them, moving them over, deselecting all but the last one, which is over the last previous fence post, and then deleting that one. And that gives everything that we want. So about like that, I believe. And then we want to do the same on the other side here. Try to even that up with the field, and then we're going to have to fix it a little bit, but we'll get there. Right now we're still building it. So something like that. I think that looks pretty good. And now for the beams. Something like that. Duplicate them over. Like so. Continue that over to the corner there. Put it on this side as well. And now we just have one more for that little small section we added in. So we'll just copy this one, scale it down, and rotate it. That looks good to me. Get rid of the two images, and we'll go ahead and put in our empty. So everything is nicely locked down. Get it plopped into position there, and then scale it up. And that pretty much does it for that building. Let's unhide everything. For these two, I want to make sure the doors are the same height. So, like that. There's a lot that you can do with just resizing. All right, so next we need to work on some more reference art, because we have done everything we've gotten art made for. So now we need to come up with some more stuff. And one of the things we need to focus on is going to be the next house. So we'll just get this kind of roughed down. I'm not looking to do perfection here. Just get it decently done. Something like that for the top. Throw in a chimney as well. And then the inner area. Always important to have that kind of thing defined. And now to get the other parts. Some we can just borrow from another building, like so. Alter these a little bit, make it look a little different. Something like that. I like that look. Just borrow this to label it, and this will be our general store. And now we need to export this as well. So there we go. And now that we've done that, there's also something else we need to work on here. And that's going to be this, which we will just alter a little bit. And this will be the player house. So we can export this as well. And last thing we need to get done is the bulletin/quest board. So this will be the starting point for it. And now I want to make it a bit more interesting. So we'll do something like this. Copy it and flip it over. And we'll just get that done and completed. Delete the other part there. And now we're going to flip it the other way. And the same thing we did before. Get half of it done. And then flip it. Get rid of that one. And now here we go. And now, one more flip. And what I want to do is just finish this one up like so. Move it out of the way, delete the other one, bring this back down, and there we go. We have our surface for the bulletin board where everything will be posted. Now something for the side. Oh, a dividing line, yes. So, have a map on one side and the bulletin board information on the other. So there we go. And we also need something giving the side dimensions. So something like this. And then get it moved into about where I want it. And same there. Just adjust some of these points around. And that looks pretty good to me. We will get that exported. And now to place them, like we did everything else on the map here, makes it easier to visualize where everything's going to line up and be. So we want to bring in the general store first. And it's going to go right here by the town hall. That looks about right to me. So now we do the same with the bulletin board, and it is going to be placed in the little central area like that. And one last thing to bring in, the player house. And it'll be right here, right on this side. And I think that looks pretty good. Got things planned out now. Now that we have all of the remaining art we need, the concept art that is, we can get to actually putting it together. And that's what we're going to be starting up right now. Let's see. I guess the player house is going to be the easiest, so we'll do that. Get it rotated properly and duplicated, and then moved over. That looks about right to me. Get it positioned as well. And I think we're now finally ready to get started. Just like we've done before, get the first wall lined in. Do the windows. Copy the one over. And now we're going to move all this up and in. Now we want a window on the side there. And we can just extrude these two vertices over. There we go. Get them on the same level there. Now let's kind of get this moved in position right. And fill in faces. Now we can do the same on the front. Put in a few subdivisions there. As always. There we go. Now we want a window on the other side as well. So we'll do that. Try to get it right on that edge, and we'll put this one further back. All right, just slide these vertices over like we did before. Got the one tended to. And we can go ahead and put some faces in. Now get the other one extruded over and finish putting faces in. There we go, that's done. Get the back wall put in, and now for the depth on the windows and doors. Door, as there is only one of them. That should do it there. Now let's get the little foundation part put in. And now we're up to the roof. Awesome. Just kind of follow this on around like so. So far so good. And now let's actually get it filled in. And I'm probably not going to go all the way up, thinking this is about good enough. Let's flip those faces. do want it to look right, so something like that should be excellent. Now to get the underside where it will mesh up with the main part of the house. Get the faces put in. There we go. Now this little bit, it adds a nice overhang touch. So that's why I do it every time. Next up is the chimney, obviously. Get it moved into position there. And something like that. Scale it down. And then extrude it down, put that face in. Now scale it down entirely to get the last bit of it done, where we just extrude it down and scale it as needed. There we go. Now we grab the entire thing, move it down into the roof, and remove part of the roof, slide the chimney over, and fill in faces. All right. Let's try to get this evened up here. That looks okay, except for one glaring thing, which is obvious to anyone paying attention. The chimney is, the normals are not facing the right way. So we had to get those flipped, and now that they are, just need to add our empty in and parent the model and empty together. And now we can put it into our map and position the house properly after we verify the door height. Should be a little bit bigger than that, I think. See if we line it up something like this, we can get a good idea. Where's the other one? There it is. There's what I need to see. So that, I'm going to say that's close enough. So now we put the house where it needs to be, right over here. And that is going to do it for this time. Hey there, everyone. Just wanted to thank you all for watching this video. And if you did enjoy it, remember to give me a like and a subscribe if you are so inclined. Also, I do have a Patreon. The links are in the description below. You can have your name in the credits here as well.